Good morning. I am here right now to have our wonderful Power Talk, our Authentic You Power Talks that we have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, this is definitely the right place for you to be. We are going to be talking about the power of believing in yourself and really owning your greatness, which I think is a very important topic. Many times we digress and we do not realize that this amazing potential that we have within us. And I would even say, before we get started, many people will laugh at you if you start feeling like you want to believe in yourself. Well, this does not happen in this space. We only encourage you to be better, to keep growing, keep tapping into that amazing potential that resides within you. And we're going to talk about that today. So before we get started, I will welcome some of the people that have come into the room. We have Olga, Miracle, Michelle, Angela, Antoinette, Janet, Aaron, Joni, Jen, hi Jen, Madison, Alicia, Heather, Erica, Lisa, Summer, James, Catherine, Eric, and Petronia. Thank you so much for coming. I know that the room is still filling, but we will start because I want to make sure that we maximize on our time. So for those who don't know me, my name is Kristina Holle. I am the founder of the Authentic You Coaching, where I help women, employers, executives, even organizations. I go into organizations worldwide to help individuals connect into their higher side so they can live a more productive and fulfilled life. We need to have more of this. We need to start being able to unlock our potential, not just by a token way of saying it, but really understanding that there is so much to be discovered and that you are amazing in this moment right now. But sometimes we just need a little bit of inspiration to get there. And that's what we are going to talk about today. So today we are talking about believing in yourself and owning your greatness. So I want you to sit back right now and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what would your life look like if you truly believed in yourself? What would that look like to you? And I think that's a really profound question. I'm talking about not just on the good days, I'm talking about all of it. Even when things are not going right, what if you still believed in yourself in those seconds or those moments? Every single day, when doubt tried to creep in, you still believe in yourself. You still empower yourself in a way that you can be who you need to be. Doubt can't really exist if you believe in yourself. And I want you to think about, maybe you're in a great spot now. Think about chapters in your life that maybe you didn't believe in yourself. Maybe you shortchanged yourself. Maybe you gave your power away to other people. You needed other people to tell you to believe in yourself. And it's great when we have that. I know I've seen that throughout my history, or myself, and even with others. Sometimes other people see your greatness before you see it in yourself. But I want you to understand we all have greatness in us. And if anyone's laughing at you because you believe in yourself, then you can really debunk it. Because if you really have belief on that deeper level, it doesn't matter what they say. The only person who truly needs to believe in you is you. Why do you think about that? Have you made promises to yourself and let yourself down because you didn't feel as though you were worthy enough? And I think we've all experienced it. And now this is the time where we need to reflect and see if whether or not it's serving us. Because when we believe in ourselves, amazing things will happen. So let's think about, what are some reasons why we may have not believed in ourselves? I'll tell you that you're not alone. We've all been there. It could be fear of failure. Oh, what if I don't succeed? Maybe past mistakes. I messed up before. What if I do it again? That negative voice. People have told me I'm just not good enough. So why would I think I'm good enough? And it's interesting. I'll never forget I was running a retreat, and there was a woman who really did some great work, and she was feeling great. And she was worried about going back home because she was feeling so confident. She was believing in herself. She was seeing her capability, a glimpse of her capability of what she could do. And she was worried about going home to her family or others who were going to tell her, well, look at you. You think you're so full of yourself now. You're so good. And it honestly, when I heard that, made me sad. But it is a reality that people may have told you some way on your path that you're not good enough. And then you start creating narratives that you believe that you're not good enough. But what if you surround yourself with people who tell you you're amazing? You are good enough. You can do this. Let's break through the barrier and get through to the other side. So when you have family members that might say, hey, look at you, you think you're so good, that just remember this. That is not about you. That is about them. And sometimes when we shine very bright, it reflects parts in other people that may not be doing the work to shine as bright. So when we understand that, then we can not allow it to sway us from our belief in ourselves. And I want us to remember that. Another one, and I used to see this in work all the time, people comparing themselves to everyone else. I think that is the biggest deflator. You will never be satisfied if you are in this space where you are comparing your life to other people, looking how far that you've come in comparison to them. You're always trying to keep up with the Joneses, always trying to look like you are more the winner. That, ask yourself, is that serving you? Because when we get into that competitive state, and I love a good competition, but I would argue that the competition should be with yourself. It should not be about knocking down other people in order for you to get ahead. And when we start listening to other people or we start comparing ourselves, we could put ourselves in a position where we're starting to not believe in ourselves. We look at someone else and we say, wow, they can do it. I could never do that. But that's simply not true. So when we understand that we need to stop comparing ourselves to others for validation, then we need to remember that when we do that, we are protecting ourselves. We're protecting our power. We're protecting our greatness. We are believing in ourselves and our capability, because it really doesn't matter how other people show up in all of this. All that matters is how you show up. Are you comparing yourself to others? What's the point? And ask yourself, does it make you feel better or does it make you feel worse? And some of you may say to me, Kristina, it does make me feel better because I know what the goal is. I want to be like X, Y, and Z. So be it. If that's your goal, then you see it and that's what the direction you want to go. But if you're constantly comparing about how they're doing this and how they've been, you are negating what you could potentially be bringing to the table, all your gifts that you could be bringing to your table. And in fact, you could go beyond that. So there's a story that I know I've mentioned it in previous conversations, but there is a football story. I love football movies. I can sit there and watch them over and over and over again. I feel inspired because it's always somehow breaking through a cap of what they are capable of doing. So there was a coach and a football team, and they were having to run the field as an exercise. But the exercise was a little bit different because they were going to do the crab crawl across 100-foot field with someone on their back as some sort of conditioning or training. And everyone was like, Coach, we can't do this. This is too much. We won't be able to get there. We can only get to this part. And he's like, well, if you feel as though that's the cap, that's all you can do, so be it. But I'm going to challenge you. Let's try something new. Let's do a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Let's line everybody up And so the team is lined up with their partners and they are about to crawl 100-foot football field and see how far. Maybe they'll get to the 25th line, who knows? But he challenged them where he had one teammate that had a blindfold on. He had a blindfold and his other teammates did not. He had a blindfold on. Can you imagine having to carry someone on your back crawling to do an entire football field? This seems absolutely insane. It doesn't look like it could be done. So on your marks, get set, go. So they're all going. They hit the 10-foot line. They hit the 15-foot line. They hit the 25-foot line. And once they hit the 25-foot line, the individuals that could see capped out. They stopped at that point. So they're stopping. But the person that is blindfolded has no idea that anybody else stopped. He thinks that he's still in the race. So then he keeps going. And he has the coach saying, you got this, keep going. You're almost there, with no cap as to what that looks like. You're almost there. And he actually did the entire field without even knowing. So the point of me sharing that story, it speaks to me because he didn't have a comparison. His eyes were closed or blindfolded. He just went with his full capacity and just kept going. And when he did that, he exceeded where the mind would have told him to stop. So if he was comparing to others, he would have stopped. Those individuals that could see and they were comparing to each other, they stopped. They had mentally told themselves at the 20-foot line that they would stop. And they did. And that's what happened. So when I say to you, if you start comparing yourself to other people, it's automatically going to mess with your mojo. It's automatically going to, and mojo not as the speaker on this platform, but your mojo, I say that all the time, is automatically going to mess with your mojo because you start getting in your own way. And this is where I really want it to be clear and concise. The only thing that you need to be laser focusing on is what your goal is and where you want to go. And not worried about whether or not you're there yet. There's all these different stages of getting there, and everybody's at different points. So sometimes we look at people's lives and we go, oh, I want that. I want to be so successful. I want all the houses. I want all the money. I want all of this. But we don't really understand what the whole story behind that. We only see the end product, but we didn't see all the struggle and all the belief that that person had to stay focused to their goal in order to get there. And I think we need to remember that instead of just looking for that quick fix for the end, just remember anything that is worthwhile is going to take time. The richness comes, and we've talked about this, the richness comes when we get through our limiting beliefs and we push through to the other side. Why? Because you start to believe in yourself. It's not just a token word, oh, I believe in myself. No, we really learn how to believe in ourselves when we dig deep and we get out of it. And when we get out of it, it's, I can do this. Have you ever experienced something like that where you come out on the other end and you're like, how did I get out of this? But I did it. And that's because you had grit. You woke up every day, you kept going. So that football player that was doing the army crawl just gave his all and did not get caught up in the restriction. He just believed that I'm going to give it my best. And when we are in that space, we're always going to exceed what we expect from ourselves. Our mind has a tendency of limiting us for many different reasons. But when we can learn to bypass the mind and kick into the heart and believe in ourselves, that is a game changer, my friends. That's why when they say, I don't know why today we're talking about sports analogies, but that's why they say, oh, look at that player. He plays with heart. We should be playing our life with heart. That's where we believe in ourselves. We're tapping into something bigger beyond the mental capacity. Mental capacity is an accomplishment. Yes, you can get there. That's the goal. But when it gets down to the push, the shove, the adversity, the toughness, it takes heart to get beyond that. And that is the belief part of it. I believe I can do this. I'm not going to just sit down and give up. Because when we do that, there is such power. Think about that. Back to the question I posed to you when we started this conversation. What would your life look like if you fully believed in yourself from day one? If you had no doubt on this path, what would it look like? And when we think about that pattern, think about the exposure of the things that would come to you if you did not stop. And I'm telling you, you can do that right now. You can not stop. You can start believing yourself today. But I want you to think about those moments in your life where you may have gotten in your own way. Even things, a little bit of self-doubt. Who do I think I can do this? We secretly say those comments to ourselves. Well, I'm here to counter that. You can do it. You can have the life whatever you desire. It's there right now. But the key is you have to believe it. I can believe it for you, but if you're not believing it for yourself, you may struggle. It's not being on a solid foundation. When we believe in ourselves, this is why I have been doing all this work around authenticity. Now I fully believe in myself. There's a deeper knowing. But in the past, I believed in myself for certain parts, but I was still rocky. And I know I was rocky because you get yourself in situations where you may be manipulated, you might be triggered in certain situations, you may not be showing up as your best self. That's not being grounded in foundation with who you are. And when we understand that, so there's that integration piece. So it's interesting. I was extremely successful in corporate, but corporate was only serving a part of me, not all of me. Now I can sit here and have this conversation with you from a holistic standpoint. And I wish this for everybody. It's possible because it's real. When you believe from this place, when you believe from this place, it is unstoppable. You can do whatever you really want to do. That self-doubt is not going to creep in. You would never question whether or not you can do it because it's a part of who you are. It's your birthright. You're meant to have greatness in your life. So every time one of these thoughts come in, they're really lies that you're telling yourself, false narratives, that stories that we've told ourselves over the years, that things are only good for others, but they're not necessarily good for us. But that's simply not true. But I will tell you, throughout our lives, not many people have told us that story. And that's not any fault of their own. It's just the behavior has been repeated. There's very few that are countering this story. Because if you truly believe in yourself, if we had a world that totally believed in themselves and we were operating from a place that was pure and we had worked through our stuff and we're truly showing up from our authentic truth, we would avoid a lot of issues. When we see people where we're navigating in certain places and it's not pretty or we're lower vibrational, we might be jealous or gossiping or fearful. That's because we have not really stepped into our power. That's because we don't believe in ourselves fully. So it's about going deeper and trusting who you are and knowing that you'll figure it out and your past does not define you. Remember this. Your past is about your experiences. And what you do with your past is really the defining moment because you are writing your own story. You are carrying your own narratives into the future. What is the narrative that you tell yourself now? I will tell you the narrative that I told myself in the past versus the narrative I tell myself now, totally different. They are not the same. And I'm so grateful to something bigger, to me, that I chose to have the courage to go on it. Because the part that shifts when you really believe in yourself, you're not proving yourself. There's a difference. You're not proving yourself to other people, your existence, your importance. That doesn't happen anymore. You show up in a way where you're completely empowered. You believe in your purpose. You believe in your path, wherever that may be. You know that you are enough just as you are. When we don't have to prove ourselves to other people, then the poor behavior doesn't come in. Then you just show up. You show up and you can command the space. You know that you will fall, but you'll pick yourself up. You know that you can navigate, you can pivot, you can do whatever's required to get you to the next level, to your North Star, as I always say. What is your goal? Where do you want to be? And we all have a North Star, but are you honest about your North Star? Or did someone else tell you what your North Star should be? So I want you to think about that today. Because if you believe in yourself, you believe in your goal, you know where you're going, and the outside influence doesn't really matter the way that you think that it matters. So I'll give you some real life example, okay, of people that believed in themselves. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected by 12 publishers before she finally published Harry Potter. Can you imagine if she let self-doubt stop her? And she went all the way. She was extremely poor. She had no money. She was barely getting by. But she did not stop because she believed in her vision. She believed in her path as to where she was going. And when we understand that, it's not because it was given to her. It's because she believed in herself. She believed in where she was going. And when we step into that kind of power, we shift into a whole different place. How about Walt Disney? Look at the empires. Walt Disney, fired from a newspaper. He was told that he was lacking creativity. And now his name is all around imagination and success. Empire. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Goofy. And then it expands, and expands. We've got Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear. I know them all because I have kids. But the point is, thank goodness he didn't stop because it was legacy building. Same thing with J.K. Rowling. My kids and I have both enjoyed from that inspiration, that they were strong enough that they didn't give up and they still believed and they kept going. When you think about that power of that, these leaders, when they don't stop, then you realize that there's a greater impact. We all have moments where it can kick in, but if you're really doing the work and you really are loving who you are and you love where you're going and you see the vision and you feel like I need to have this life, and you will know the deciding point. If you are at a point where you're feeling dissatisfaction in your life, or that you're starting to get jealous of other people, you've got the resentment bubble growing, that means that you're not aligned. And that's okay. But let's be honest about that. Because you have the power that you can pivot. It could be something small, but keep going. I always say, keep going, keep growing towards your North Star, whatever that may be. And when we think about Walt Disney or J.K. and how they didn't stop, that's amazing. That's amazing to me because they had every opportunity to stop. They had people tell them, no, you're not good enough. Another one is Oprah. She was told literally that she was not fit for television. And look at the empire that she's grown. And look at all the people and lives that she's touched. All these people have touched big, expansive lives across the globe. But if she listened to the person who said that she wasn't fit for television, and she was like, okay, you're right, and she didn't believe in herself, Oprah exists. And I think about, we need these visionaries, these people, and you are one of them. Because who knows what you have inside of you that is yet to come out. Who knows how you're going to inspire the planet, what you're going to bring. But we have to get you first to a place where you believe that you can do this. I believe in you. I know that you have great capability inside of you right now. And we just don't know where it's going to go. I'm actually very excited to see. But there has to be an openness to go on the explore and almost to be ruthless about the vision. Just because someone else doesn't like it, it doesn't mean it's not meant to happen. The question should always be, how do I feel about this? Am I connected to this? Do I feel inspired? Is this the vision? Do I want to go this way? Do I believe in myself enough to do it in the face of other people when they may laugh at you and think, oh, why would you do that? I've had, very successful career in HR, worked very hard. My entire life was around that, and the status and the promotions and, I had a country that I was like in one of the organizations, I was responsible for a country, and then it expanded. And then I had other responsibilities for out in the UK, all this stuff. And the reason why I tell you this, not to go, oh, wow, Kristina, it doesn't matter. The point of the story is when I shifted to write a book, to run retreats, to have this whole coaching program where I'm helping organizations and individuals, some people laughed at me. They're like, oh, Kristina, you're having a Jerry Maguire moment. I don't know if you guys know Jerry Maguire, but literally that's been said to me. And I had to go, well, and I giggled. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But he took that one client and he took him right to the top, right? He took him right to the top. And I have joy and I believe in myself in a very different way. And I share this story because this is not just for celebrity. They're celebrity now, but they had their fair share of stuff. Serena Williams faced racism, criticism, obstacles. She was told that she wasn't good enough. Serena Williams, she's one of the greatest athletes of all time. Any of the greats, I believe, Michael Jordan, he didn't make the grade 9 basketball team. Think about that. Jordan, this is my point. All of these people that decided to keep going. Steve Jobs is another one. He got fired. He was told that his ideas weren't enough. Meanwhile, he's the founder of Apple. Legacy building. But these are people that have chosen to break free from self-doubt. There's something different inside, not different with them, different in the way that they handle their life. They learn how to do different things, and you are capable of doing this. This is why I want to share this with all of you. Can you imagine what you will be doing if you can break free? And I'm here to tell you, you can. That's what it excites me so much to be able to share this with you. And whoever needs to hear it loud and clear. Believe in yourself and you will live the life that you've always desired, because you can do it. And if you are surrounding yourself with people that do not support that, then perhaps it's time to reframe or relook at your life and see the people that do, and start shifting more into that space, because we need support. And this community is support. These podcasts are supports. Whoever needs to hear it. But you're not alone. And the way that self-doubt works and all these negative thoughts is in the fear of aloneness. Ooh, we don't want to say anything because we're going to look weak. We're going to look like we don't know what our stuff is, or we don't want to be laughed at, or we don't want to be put into that situation. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's how they win. That's how they win. That's how other people win. By making you believe that you have to not talk about these things. The fact is, you have to surround yourself, even if it's a handful, If you have a handful, then you are very, very lucky. You have one or two people that have your back and who are going to help you pick yourself up when you're feeling a little bit down, and they give you the shake and they keep you going, you're winning. But if you're looking for other people to validate your dream, validate your existence, that's not going to happen. What happens is that you start going on a new path. You start attracting in different people that get you. But the older version of you is growing and shifting in a beautiful way. It's moving along. So it's almost like, you know, how a snake will shed skins. As you're moving along and you are believing in yourself, you're shedding old skins and you are moving into new space where you will attract at a higher level, a higher vibration, other people that see your vision, that are high-fiving you and that are believing in you. So when that stuff happens, it's priceless. It really is priceless. I see it in my life right now. And I know personally I've shifted. I lost a lot of people in the shift. They're around, but they're not around. And I'm totally okay with that. I send them off with love. They're around. I can engage with them, but they're not a part of that handful. They're not a part of the vision, the goal. But when I spoke at the women's show, the Toronto Women's Show in November, I had someone come up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, Kristina, you really have a crew. You have a group that really is supporting you of women. And I was like, yeah. And I, from the bottom of my heart, like I get up when I think about who I have surrounding me in my life now. No fakety fake. It is a real deal. And that doesn't happen unless you shift and being comfortable enough to believe that whatever is yours, you will shift and you will move into new space. So when we understand that, I think it's extremely powerful. So how do we break free from this self-doubt? How do you start shaking it up for yourself? Well, there's a couple of things. I would start reframing your failures. Remember, they are proof of that you can actually learn and get yourself back up. The key is when you fail, get back up. Go towards the North Star. Do not stop because you never know what's around the corner. You could be almost there. You have to keep going. If you believe in the life that you really desire, if you're believing in yourself, you have to just keep going. And do not wait for it to be perfect. Because if you are waiting for it to be perfect, you may not make a move. You might just sit there waiting and talk about one day this will happen. I'd rather you make a move, it not be perfect, you pick yourself back up, you regroup, and you keep going. That to me is powerful. So think about these leaders I shared with you, the ones that didn't do very well in the beginning, which is normal, but they're complete, iconic, legendary leaders. They did not stop. They picked themselves back up. They started believing in themselves. Replace negative talk with positive talk, self-talk. And remember, when you were talking to yourself, would you talk to this the same way? When you're talking to yourself, would you talk to your children the same way that you were speaking to yourself? And if the answer is no, then that needs to be the first thing that you change. The first. How can you believe in yourself if you are knocking yourself down all the time? What's the point? Doesn't make any sense. So if you catch yourself, even today, doing a little bit of the negative self-talk, stop in the moment, reframe. Not like, oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know. I can't do this. You would reframe it and you would say, I'm learning and I can't do it yet, but I'll get there. Do you see the difference? Yeah, it's beautiful. You are encouraging yourself. You become your own coach instead of getting caught up in the negative. And when we start doing that, this is a big one for me. That voice that in your head is a voice that's been taught to you as you were younger, either a parent, a friend, it's been taught. So you were reflecting that back to you. So I would say this, it's time to provide some love towards yourself so you can believe in yourself. So be kind in the words that you share and start to take action. Be baby steps, but start to move forward away from doubt. So maybe I don't know how to do this one thing completely, but I can research it. I can try. I can put my ideas down on a piece of paper. I can journal. Do you see how they're all steps? Moving yourself towards this north, whatever that is. But when we get so locked into, well, I can never be an Oprah, or I can never be an author, J.K. Rowling's. I would never want you to be an Oprah or a J.K. Rowling's or whatever that is for you. I want you to be you. And I want you to be able to access this amazing power that resides in you right now. I'm so excited to see what potentially unfolds when we understand that. So surround yourself with belief. So we were talking about this before. People that will lift you up and remind you of who you are and the greatness that you offer the world. And we all have them. Maybe it's someone who's seen you help someone in need. Maybe it's someone who you've helped. But sometimes we all need a little bit of a pick-me-up or the reminder. And I get them too. Sometimes when I'm in the zone and I'm like, and when I get in the zone, I really can get into the zone. But someone will say, Kristina, these retreats, they're transformational. I'm like, oh, but if I didn't follow through on the vision, those retreats don't happen and those people aren't impacted. And it's not about me. It's about this. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. It is not about me. It's about the inspiration and the idea that comes to life. It happens to be channeled through me to make it happen. But you all have that in you right now. Do you understand that? So you all have that. So whatever that idea is, whatever that belief is, it's continuing with baby steps and perhaps the explore that it may come to life, because you do not know who else is going to be impacted by your belief in yourself. When we understand that, it is so powerful, and we all have them. We all have these things inside of us that we're like, oh, that would be great to do this, or I really feel I could make a big impact here. Then go do it. But first, before you get there, I want you to start believing that you can do it, because you can. You have power. So it's one thing to be like, yes, Kristina, I have power. But what are you going to do with it? Are you going to take action? Are you going to do something great? And it could be a big thing. It could be something small. Maybe it's impacting your neighbor, or impacting your family, or whatever. But if you've got something in you that's bubbling and you want to do more, and you're waiting for this to come forward, you're waiting for like the right, or maybe if I 30 pounds, I could go do that. Or maybe if I get the education, I could go do that. Don't wait. If it is the education, or if it is the weight loss, or whatever it is that you need to do before you get there, then perhaps enroll in the school, or enroll in Noom, or a weight loss program, or enroll in whatever it is. But these are baby steps to take action, to move away from self-doubt, because the doubt is not serving you. And we know that. But I'm trying to provide you space to understand and examples to see that you have potential right now to break free. So the time is right now. If you're asking yourself, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's no more playing small. Life is short, guys. So you want to make sure that you're maxing out while you're here, whatever that is for you. What are your dreams? Because your dreams are choosing you for a reason. They choose you. Your dream and my dream are very different. Or maybe they're the same. Who knows? But they have chosen you. Now, will you listen to the call, or will you dismiss it? Will you act like, oh, that's not for me? That would be a nice to have. I would argue I think it's worth the explore. Your vision is yours because you are the one that's meant to bring it to life. Okay? You are the one who's meant to pull it in from inspiration to manifestation. So will you do that today? Think about that. I've got Peter in queue. I'm going to bring Peter up. Done a lot of talking, guys. So let's see what Peter has to say. Peter? Oh, I don't know. He kind of shifted. Let's try again. Technical issues. See what Peter has to say today.
Oh, right.
Peter.
Got it.
Huh?
Hey, take a coffee, relax. Yeah, so I'm here well on fire. I'm in the midst of doing what I do, and as I'm listening to you, I just can't help but think about the person or the people who are hearing this message, maybe for the third, fourth, or fifth time, or maybe every time they tune into Kristina, they hear it and they're unsettled. They want to get up and move, and then they freeze after the show's over with. I think the most important things is to do exactly what you're talking about, and that's just take baby steps. Like do something. Mm-hmm. Just that little things is as much as we can possibly imagine. So there's nothing to do really but to start. And it's exactly what you're saying. And I care with nothing new to the sun, but exactly what you're saying and in support of it, because it really does make the difference when you just start to take steps. If you wait for the right time, guess what? Yeah, it's not going to happen. So I think it's really just important to take one today, take one step. And I kind of tricks you, says, well, that doesn't really matter. Don't worry about that. Just do one step towards your goal, whatever that is, and get moving. And so we can, I can listen to Kristen Brown, I can read books, I can go to seminars. But the bottom line is, if I don't take that and put it into play, if I don't take the action, then nothing changes in my life. A year from today, I'll be listening to Kristina Holle with the same amazing voice, with the same amazing wisdom, knowledge, and motivation, but nothing changed in my life. And for me, the bigger picture is this. Can you imagine if you, Kristina, didn't decide to take that step? You know, more than a few weeks ago, you had this amazing event and you lit it up, right? When you spoke in that conference. Can you the lives that you've changed? So like that to me is really the backstory that becomes a headline, because there's in your life, yes, you, whoever's listening, that need you to get your dreams accomplished. If there's lives that you're going to affect by changing your life, fulfilling your purpose, and fulfilling your dreams, it's not all about you. It's not all about me or Kristina, but it's about the lives that we can touch.
That honestly, Peter, that speaks to my heart, because I actually was quite emotional after the talks, because I had women coming up to me and really sharing their sorry about that.
It's okay. For it, I was
going to fill the state. Yeah, good.
I was my sis, like get between stuttering and what. And as a child, legitimate throughout my childhood, and it still happens, obviously. So go on. I'm sorry.
No, sorry at all. It is really interconnected, isn't it?
Yeah.
Certain people, the reason why I'm here right now, just as you are, we're calling out those dreams because they're meant to help the higher collective, to increase consciousness, to know that you do have a path, and that you have to answer the call. And when that amazing things happen, like with the women's show, I couldn't believe it. And it was. And I had women that would want to speak to me privately about situations, because when we can witness this experience and see people who have been hiding forever, it's priceless. It opens a door, but it only happens if you answer the call.
And I can literally feel the energy, because I've been there when I'm hearing the Kristinas of the world talk, and I up out of my chair and I move around. There's something stirring in me. It won't rest, because I'm hearing this woman's voice, and what she's saying is the truth. Like, this is for a reason, men, women, this is happening for a reason. Like, can you, if you decided to play it safe and stay in corporate, like life would have went on just fine, but you stepped into a different purpose. And I'm sure it wasn't.
No. Peter, please come back. I'm actually feeling this. And so that's another beautiful piece of this community, that with audio, you feel the energy because you're not distracted by the mind. I can feel him speaking, and it's beautiful because it's truth. We're talking truth right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody's got a story. And if you don't know mine, here's part of it. After a bad accident a decade ago, I got really hooked on prescription pain medication. I ended up losing everything. I was homeless. Listen to me. I was homeless in my Range Rover Sport, shoplifting because I was too proud to go to social services to get a food card. Right. And I got in recovery, and it's fast forward to today. I'm a recovery coach. I help men and women get their lives together. But if you had asked me, like just after I clean, like, is my life ever going to turn around? I'm going to say, hell no, because I blew it up. I lit the fuse. I was a police officer. I went to Homeland Security, and then I had this accident, and then I had felonies. Like, my life is over with. And I would just acquiesce to that and played it safe. But I'm like, no, I'm going to get a microphone and start talking about the things that happened in my life. And I did that. And I got out of my comfort zone. One of the things I didn't like doing, because I had dyslexia, going stuttered, like getting your mic, you can probably still hear it, is a thing for me, right? But I pushed myself to do it, not because I'm so courageous, but I know that I need to do it to get the message, get my purpose fulfilled in that particular area. So if you're hearing this either live or on the replay, it's not about me, it's about we. And part of that we is Kristina, and she keeps coming up and bringing it. Guys, I get, like, it seems like looking at Kristina, all these things that she's done is just absolutely fantastic. But she started right where you're at right now with the decision, and she made the decision. And that's really all it is. Once you've made that decision, you don't have to feel like the world is on fire. You don't have to go play Rocky music. The only thing you have to do today is make a move, just one move, and that's it.
So powerful. And Peter, yes, I want to just acknowledge, one, it does take courage. It takes so much courage for you to step forward and share your story. We were all scared about sharing our stories where there's pain and we might be rejected. But do you see the power that happens? You're inspiring people right now. I listen to you and I'm like, man, I like you more.
You're so sweet.
I like you more. I'm not even. This is the real deal.
Because you're my soul sibling, as yeah. But for me, with day one for you, like there was that that I had. It was I never forget it. It was the Vibe-a-thon, and you came on. You retreat with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
and you came on. I'm like, this is to me. Like that's my. She just is.
So good.
And I've been ever since. And you talk about a proud brother when you talked about the experience that you had when you spoke, and I think at the time it even surprised you. It took it back a bit, the lives you touch, but that just speaks to the power that we have. Like, it's not me, it's not about you, it's about the lives that we can change, and in the process of that, right, we are given good fortune of it. But that's why I love this app and I love this community, because like all day as I'm going through my vocation, through my day, I can just turn it on and pop an ear pod in, and then Kristina Holle speaking. And right there, she says exactly what this man needs to hear. And maybe what I know when I teach every day, but I needed to be reminded about it. I need to be told in my ear at that particular present moment. And it's just really powerful.
I would say this, like we're all part of it. We're different cogs in the wheel and we speak to different people. So if I inspire you, you are inspiring others. Do you see the magic, the globe that's going to cover with the healing energy that's happening? This is why believing in yourself and shifting and owning your story and getting out of the darkness so you can go do what you need to do is a form of liberation and freedom. It's really setting everything free.
Yeah, and we have a responsibility to participate in our purpose. We really do. So thanks, sis. I love you, and thanks for letting me share the stage.
Oh, so great chatting. And Peter, my goodness, my heart full. And I really want to say this before I go to next guest, but thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for helping people see that things happen, but you have a choice to still show up. And you show up every day. And you've broken past that narrative of like, oh, my life's over. Your life is never over due to your circumstances. It's all about choices that you make. And perhaps, just perhaps, it's the path that you were supposed to be on, to be inspire and be here on the planet right now, to be able to help people love themselves and believe in themselves and understand that we don't need to be in a fear anymore. This is about self-acceptance. But if we're hiding, and myself included, it took me forever to share my stories. I had so much shame. But if we're hiding behind them, then we are only nurturing the masks. We are not nurturing the soul. And that is the whole point. When we're believing in ourselves, we're nurturing our souls. We're allowing ourselves to understand that, hey, we're here to learn. Boy, did I ever learn a lot. But I will never judge you, or I'll never put you in a bucket and say that you're not good enough because of your circumstances. I actually think that all these stories are meant to unlock now. And in a way, I think my colorful story, those choices that I made, is to help others see that no matter your circumstances, that you were meant to speak up and you're meant to share because you are going to inspire and you're going to help others. And that's not like that. I'm talking to all of you, but I also think it resonates with myself. But like you said, Peter, if I didn't make the move, where would we be? You guys will be doing your thing, but where would I be? I'd probably be very dissatisfied, going on the treadmill and still trying to get the world to tell me that who I am and that more money, more things, more material things are going to define who I am. The identity is wrong. Our identity is in core. It's through honoring the essence who we are. And when we understand that, then we're unstoppable, guys. Then we show up in a way that you're going to blow your mind. Then you come up on the stage and you share your story with confidence, not from victimhood. It doesn't mean it wasn't hard. But you come up and you believe in yourself where you're like, yeah, this happened. This is who I am today. And these are the choices that I've made. And when you do that, like I said, I'm not even joking. I'd like you more, absolutely more. And because I believe that's how you get depth. I believe that's how you learn and really navigate through life. If it's always perfect, guys, or if you're trying to convey that to me, unfortunately, I can see through that stuff. But if you're trying to convey that, then you automatically, and I've lived it for 30 years, when we're trying to hide those parts of ourselves, you're only living a fraction of your life. So I want you to think about that today. So thank you, Peter. What a beautiful, beautiful conversation. I think everybody needs to hear that. We love you just as you are. You don't need to do backflips and be extra fancy, or you don't have to prove who you are. Your stories, it's so interesting. Your stories is what really attracts me in. And maybe it's an energetic thing. Maybe it's something where I'm like, oh, wow, this person gets it. So when I know that you've had pain, well, you know what we're talking about, guys? This is what's hitting me right now, is coming through. What we're talking about is empathy. We are learning to empathize for each other and help each other grow into who we're supposed to be. But when we were hiding our stories or hiding who we are, we limit our capacity to empathy because we are still pretending to be a fraction of ourselves. But when you can take the masks down and we can start to see, I can empathize with Peter, or I can empathize with others, and he can empathize with me. And what happens is that it builds a momentum and something really powerful happens. You're not operating alone anymore. And then you're going to start to do some bigger change in the world. We're going to be compassionate and inspiring and accepting. And we are going to empower each other to show up in a world to make change. It's happening here right now. And that's why these conversations are so strong and so powerful. So I'm going to bring my next guest up, Tess, and see what Tess has to say.
Kristina, I'm really enjoying your program so far today. Extremely inspiring, and I just thought I would jump in for a minute.
Thank you. Please share.
Oh gosh, I think you were telling us a lot of things that I've been, pondering my last actually for the last year, as far as, trying to my potential or, just in trying to help other people to reach their potentials. I do, but we all have a purpose, and a big part of that purpose is learning, but also teaching others through our experiences. Having grown up in a family where you had to be perfect, and if you made a mistake, it was like horrible. That complex for a long time until I hit my early 30s, and I said, I'm going to start being myself, and if people don't like it, too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, great.
So, and a lot of times there was like you to achieve more than other people. Like there was a contest.
Mm-hmm.
I was female in my family, one of the first females that actually decided to pursue an education. I came from a bad situation. I was a teen mom who was on welfare for about 2 years and struggling to get out of that whole system. So I went myself through school and struggled very hard, but I knew I needed to take care of myself and my son. Later on, working up the corporate ladder within, great companies. And I can say today I have my master's degree. I own my own business.
Wow.
And I'm really glad that I did not listen to other people telling me I couldn't do it, or that little voice inside my head saying I wasn't good enough. So just want to tell anybody out there that has a dream, you really look inward and see what is it that you feel you need to do and get that out there. Be yourself. Don't be afraid of being judged by others or, people put down. And a lot of times they do that is because they in themselves feel, in themselves. And so they try to drag you down to their level and discourage you. So if there's people in your life that are like that, just shut them out and listen to people like yourself, Kristina, and people like who has an incredibly inspiring story. Just tapping into the positive energy and people around you that you need to move forward. So that's what I had to share. But
well, I just so happy that you shared, because this is my point. You sharing your story with shame was right. Well, I was a teen mom and this. Yes, you were, but you don't know who you're inspiring in the group by saying that. And I think it's debunking this toxic shame about these decisions or things that have happened in our lives. And when we have examples, your example is perfect. And I think it takes courage to be able to share. This is the point. The more people that we can share these stories out, you'll understand you don't need to wait for celebrity. Just realize that there's people around all over who are warriors and fighting through the odds and really being successful and doing their thing. And I want to give you that kudos. You're doing great stuff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't let around you or the culture or were forced upon you as a person. Do not let them stop you doing what you believe in yourself, to do the talents, the gifts, the knowledge, the experiences you have are extremely valuable to other people. And
and Tess, they're like sending you like crazy. They're fit. And Shelly in particular said, tell her thank you for sharing her story. So it's so powerful that you're courageous enough to do it. This is the point. It's like, okay, story to be shared here, but it's not coming from, this is the difference. It's not coming from victimhood. It's coming from, being right. You are winning. You're the hero in your story, and you're showing up in a way that is inspiring other people. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome, Tess. Thank you so much for coming up. And I think that there's it's just so beautiful. Sorry, here we go. It's so because I really want to say thank you to all my guests on all my shows. They show up in a place of vulnerability, authenticity, and truth. And I realize that it's because I'm showing up that way, right? We reflect what we see in others. So I want to say thank you for reflecting that back, because there's such beauty in every single one of your stories, every single one of you. And when we understand that, that's the difference. I'm not trying to be someone so you like me. I'm trying to be here so we can work on the movement to be who we're supposed to be. And so you can start unlocking your gifts, whatever that is. Like I said, your dream chooses you. So are you going to be speaking to teens? Are you going to be speaking even what we were talking about? Maybe you are going to speak to young mothers. I would start, and it's interesting with the work that, creating business and stuff, I'm going to be doing some work with women's shelters around empowerment and getting them to believe in themselves. That is beautiful, because when we have these stories and we can put down the shame around them and be like, yeah, that happened. Guess what? I survived it. Guess what? I showed up and I'm ready. I'm ready to help others so they don't feel the way I did when I went through it. The empathy starts spreading. That is love. And as we say, love wins. So when we understand that, it is extremely, extremely powerful. Oh, and I have Cicely in queue. So this is going to be amazing. I just want to say, before I bring Cicely up, that we are all growing together. And it's not even, this is a real thing energetically. As I heal, you heal. As you heal, others heal. It is a part of a bigger shift and a movement. So when I'm asking you to start believing in yourself, even when the doubt creeps in, understand that there is a bigger purpose going on right now. And this is a part of the shift that's required with all these changes that are going on in the world. We need people to step in and believe in themselves and not just necessarily listen to what other people are telling us or marching orders and how we're supposed to show up. I'm not having it. I'm not doing it. So it's really understanding who you are so you can show up in a way to empower others so they can step into their power. Like, that is amazing work. Just like I am and others, I'm merely the guide. I've been there. I've gone through a lot of stuff so I can help. But this is about you understanding and unlocking that connection to yourself on such a level, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm going to bring Cicely, and then I have Felicia. Come on up. Cicely. Hi, my dear.
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
I am working through a very interesting concept in my mind, and I wasn't going to come up, but right before you started talking, I was journaling. And I feel like this is a very vulnerable moment, and I feel like somebody else might need to hear it to at least believe in themselves, because I basically had an aha moment. And it was about an energy that has plagued me in my entire life. And it is the pinnacle of self-doubt. So I'm just going to read the note for you. Acting anything, whether with positive intent or negative intent, by force, is a violation of bodily autonomy. That is the reason nothing can be done by force. It is a reminder of the masculine energy that has taken from me by force through coercion or manipulation. That's why I can't receive or take from certain people. Regardless of intentions, the force is too close to a PTSD reaction. Forcing someone to take what you are giving is akin to forcing them into sex. Be mindful of how the masculine energy is used. Telling someone how they must take what you are giving or else is a terrible threat, and it brings danger that you will be harmed no matter the intent. And it was just like, I was stuck for a minute. I was like, I finally found out. I finally found what was holding me.
Yeah, it's powerful. Very powerful.
The lack of autonomy, whether someone means me well or harm, when they are forcing their will upon me, I got to a point where I was numb. It was like, okay, I'm just take it. Okay, I'm just follow orders, because if I don't, I will be harmed. And it was something that I was just sitting there with, like, God dang, that it? That's it. Because that's the only thing left. I've dug through every other layer and layer of thing, and I'm wondering why this energy keeps coming up. And me and Peter talk about the Matrix a lot. You know how Agent Smith? And how as soon as he touches someone, that energy is given to them. and they become just like them.
Mm-hmm.
And forceful energy that I have run into over and over and over and over. And I'm looking at it like, why does this bother me so much?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this stop me from believing in myself? Because the force causes numbness. The force causes separation from self. It causes me to go through the ideas that other people say that I should be or else.
So powerful. And yeah. And I think when we understand that that is how this is, we're going deep, guys. So I just want you guys to understand that this is the structure that has been created for all of us, that it suppresses your voice. So when you are doing your things, you're good until the structure will say, well, no, that's not good. And then you have to go to marching orders, which is very the patriarch, the masculine space. And when we understand that, I didn't get that I was in that world. But I always, at a certain point, I could go. I would down at a certain point when it's like, no, you don't want to look that way. And now I understand in the masculine. So I would disconnect from myself in order to move ahead. This is in business. This is in personal life. This is to fit in, because the structure was set a certain way that there's only way. It's not just creating space. It's very dictatorial. Do you guys get that? Sorry, that's a little bit deeper.
I'm sorry, I the depth. Like it's just I got
This is how we go all the time into the depth. Oh my gosh. Okay, Cicely, Felicia, it's okay if I just get her to land the plane, because I feel like you just opened a door here. And then Felicia, I want to hear from you. Okay, thank you. I this morning in my journal when I was understanding that, when told me things, normally I'm very vocal, but there's a certain point where I would just sit back and start the self-doubt, right? It brings it in. Then I start doubting myself and I start thinking, oh, okay, maybe I'm supposed to be like this. And then that is a part of that patriarchal structure.
See, for me, I've always been told you are immaculately talented. I see my talent. I see the things that I can do. I hear my voice. I hear my singing. But the dividing factor comes when someone noticed my strength and they decided they wanted to harvest it.
Mm-hmm.
And in harvesting, it took away my belief in self, because I would just sit there and be like, well, I'm just going to take it because I don't have a goal right now. And like the idea for me, when people ask me my 5-10-year goal with all of the skills that I have, they're like, so what's your 5-10-year goal? And I'm like, to life that I don't want a vacation from. So what do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, compassionate. You don't want to make $1 million? People say I'm marked for $1 million because of the skill set, but I kind of just, and for the first time in my entire life, I'm getting to a point where I can just exist outside of all other parameters. Now, if I come into $1 million, okay, great. But like my only goal is to find a life and live a life of peace that doesn't require me needing all of the skills in a therapist tool bag to just survive.
And to take it further, Cicely, I think it's a great conversation. The patriarch, the unhealthy patriarch, we'll talk about that later, but the unhealthy patriarch, which we've all been in the system, the matrix, if you want to call it, is that success is defined through material things. Success is defined through the $1 million or the things and the toys, but you could be a heartless, but if I've got the Porsche and I've got the houses and whatever, somehow you have status, but you do not have peace of mind. You do not have like freedom in your life. You're linked into the matrix and where it's being rewarded. So I think it's interesting that someone was like, are you sure you want that instead of $1 million? Because they're still linked into the old matrix model.
Yeah, and to be from the matrix and connected to self is something that I didn't ever think I would find. And I didn't have to scream at the top of my lungs for people to leave me alone. I didn't have to scream, "This is my body, you cannot have it." All I did was put a tattoo on my body.
Yes.
It's not an inside joke. I have a tattoo of my own universe on my leg, and surrounding it, it says, "Art is love made public. Turn your wounds into wisdom." And at the very...
She must have got a call. She was in flow too.
So it's just that you cannot have what is mine, and I don't have to scream for my autonomy. When I say no, I mean no. And for any energy, female, masculine, feminine, divine comedy, just unhand me. And that's where, like, I believe in, because of my own autonomy. You cannot have me unless I give myself away.
Yeah. Well, and there's there about the taking, right? That just taking it, not even honoring, right? And it for you, it could be, your soul, whatever. For others, it could be, it's there's no as to, right? Well, I want it, I take. That is not healthy. That makes you deviate from yourself, your authentic self. We've been taught to just give. And that is not healthy, and we know that. So Cicely, I think we should do a talk on the masculine feminine so people can understand that further. When we say masculine feminine, or at least when I say it, I'm talking the energy that resides in all of us. Masculine and feminine, it doesn't matter your gender, you have those energies that are inside of you. And when we understand it on a deeper level, you can see how the matrix has been set up. It's been set up one way, because feminine energy is much more collaborative. It's, hey, getting buy-in from people, working together. What do you think? There's an engagement that's very different rather than I have the answers, I do it, you're doing this, we're going to put a wall in, and you're going on this side and you're going here. It's a very different vibe. And it's very relevant right now, understanding this, but it's a deeper conversation. So Cicely, I hope you're open to going into it. I'll tell you, maybe we'll do it next week. And then then you can up and we'll chat. And then anybody else who's interested in understanding the masculine, feminine on a deeper level, I think it's super helpful, because I will say this before I pick up my next guest, is that there is healthy masculine, healthy feminine, unhealthy feminine that resides in us. And it's linked to our behaviors and how we show up. So we can talk about that next week. I'm going to put on a little list, and I'll put it on that. Maybe next Wednesday we'll do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring my next guest. Hey, Greg, Alicia, I'm going to bring you up now. Okay. Next Wednesday, mask. Okay.
Oh, it's good
Hi there.
morning.
Morning. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You are in the place. Girl, you are in the place. How are you in my house this morning before this conversation? How are you around the ethers as I was meditating with this message? I know how you were doing it.
Yes.
I know why you were doing it. And I'm just like, more power to you. Shoot, you was flying before you got on the mic. You were like, hot. This mic is hot.
It's hot.
But it's hot. What? Oh, then Cicely get on there and take me. I forgot my original thought, because Cicely took me on the road, and I'm just like, girl, Mother Goose. Oh my God, how do you even follow these things? But I'm not trying to follow anything, but God is like doing a thing.
He is.
The youth is doing a thing. When we looked at 2025, 125, and had them planets lined up in the sky, was like, ooh, God is doing a thing. That was up to us to keep our head to the sky, and as above, so below.
Yes.
Keep walking in that alignment and this balance that we're after. We're not after 60-40. We're not after 80-20. We're after 50-50. Two halves whole type of living. And that is the greatness. It's like your two halves make a whole. Your higher and your lower chakras, your higher and your lower self make a whole when it comes together in the middle. You know, and there's stuff between us. There's so many layers between that. And you got to go through it. You got to have a clearinghouse sale. You got to like, oh, I let that go. Oh, I let them. Let that go. Let them.
Not mine.
Not me. Y'all were talking. I was like, the license plate in front of me said 015. And of course, you know, God is 0, right? And then the 15th angel number says, your changing thoughts are changing your life. Align your awareness and energy with thoughts that lift you.
Yes.
Thoughts that lift you. That, you know what, I'm one of a kind. That was my talk last week when it was coming in. You are one of a kind. Because your other question, of a what?
Well, it's because what Cicely was saying, I was journaling this morning, which I was like, how is this even? But I did ask for guidance before I came in. And so here we are. And here you are on my stage going, girl, you are on it. And I'm like, okay.
You a bird on the wire, girl. Just like, okay, we gonna flap our wings this way in this direction. You know, and that first time I ever realized that God was everywhere. I mean, everywhere, tapped in and flowing through us is when I had this in my journal, of course, about the self, how important the self was. And I'm like, well, everybody's self is not important. You know, deny yourself. Masculine type of energy.
Isn't it?
That's not collaborative. It says deny yourself, and they use religion to twist words around. And because I've been in that camp before, and they twist it around. Go ahead.
Go deeper.
And I just
don't think that
go deep, girl.
Women have been up to compete against each other? And who do you think said that matrix? Who do you think that who's the prettiest, who's the smartest, who's got a who set that up? I want you to think about that. When you think about the dynamic, I have one more guest, and if you want to come land that plane, because I feel like this is meant to say, because we're just in flow on it, that who do you think came up with that structure? Think about how nasty women can be to each other. And it's all about attention, male attention.
Yeah.
And when you pivot that to a different dynamic and you move into community and you go into helping each other and sisterhood, then magic happens. Then we start shifting and we show up and totally different. But that's a feminine structure. That's not a masculine structure.
You know, as you said, community, I heard the spirit say, in community, there is immunity.
Ooh, I like that.
From all of that stuff. Because this is, like you said, it is the matrix. It is the world of perception. And it is the world of dogma. And it is the world of, hey, let's be sameness. Let's buy all our cars. Let's be a Stepford wife kind of thing. But it's after everybody's stuff. Let me tell you, this is what came on the wire. He said, if things outside you can pull you into sad, mad, angry, hurt, sorry, then they have lowered your vibration. Right. You have given your power away to an outside structure, and you have come down in your vibration. So and the word was, be a good and diligent gardener, because seeds are always being dispersed. But I'm saying, not in my heart, not in my head, not in my soul.
Right.
So I just want to say that's the greatness of this thing, is that we can choose what goes in.
Yeah.
And we can to sift through the wheat that of other stuff that's already gone in. And we can say, oh, don't need that no more. That's between us. Because this thing called God there's nothing between God and us, but there's many things between us and God. And that's my word, and I'm going to drop out.
Well, I honestly, it's powerful, because I think that people understand, when we understand that we have such power to either engage in it or not engage in it, to pull your vibration down. But what we're looking for is one, for you to believe in yourself so you can up level. And when you up level, greatness really comes into your life. You see things, you have discernment, you see things very differently. And it's funny because, you know, I've heard some things in the media, social media, all this stuff. And it's very concerning to me if we don't do this work. And I really like what you said around community is immunity. I love community is immunity. That's what we're doing here. Because when we hear these things out in the outside world, social media is brutal. And even politics now is questionable for me. We need to go where it's safe and that we can really be speaking truth to power, what we're doing. And when we understand that it's much deeper than just, oh, it's a nice to have. When you see that there has been the Matrix, it's a lie. Basically, it's a lie. When I wrote my book, I was like, oh my God, I've been duped. I was basically in the Matrix doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. And I had no clue until I started doing these shifts and moves. And now we're finding each other. And now we're understanding there's another way, guys, being that is aligned with something much bigger than us. And that's what we're doing here. So I want to say thank you for sharing. I really, really love that. I have it written down, in community is immunity. I really, that's my heart. So thank you so much for sharing. And hopefully I will see you again. And I'm going to bring Craig up, and then I have Cicely in queue. So let's see. Let's see who. Hey, Craig, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So what are your thoughts on the show today?
I have nothing to say, but I'm pleading the fifth or whatever that is.
You're pleading the fifth?
I'm pleading the fifth because it sounds like it's a woman's show, and I'm
Oh,
gonna back out.
Craig.
So
Craig,
what?
I've got love for you. Don't even say that. It has nothing to do with that part. You're a great guy. You're in the circle.
I'm not all that in a bag of cookies. I can tell you that.
Listen, how's your?
I've done 2 Ks this week.
Oh, that's amazing. That is it because you're believing in yourself?
It's because I wanted to see if I could do it.
Right, and you could.
Yeah, and
So,
I'm also row every other day. So
oh my gosh,
on the days that I don't run, I row.
this is
So
awesome. So
doing
awesome.
I was shooting 100 kilometers this month. I'm only going to have about maybe 60.
Listen,
But
I think
next month I'll. So
well, can I tell you that you've motivated me? I'm going to the gym now, you see?
no, I didn't know that.
Yes, you have. You've motivated me. I'm new now. I'm like doing my thing. I gotta get on track here. Health is wealth.
Okay, good.
But
Well,
seriously,
if you need a mentor, I'm here for you.
oh, you watch out what you called on, because I do need a mentor. I have days where it's hard.
Well, the funny thing is the other day when I was running, Judy came down and she started on the rowing machine. And
Oh,
since she lost pounds, she can get on the rowing machine and get off the rowing machine. That was the whole reason the rowing machine left the bedroom, is because she couldn't use it because she could sit on it, but she couldn't get back up. So,
oh,
and well, without much effort, and she's got a titanium knee, so she couldn't kneel on that knee, and she couldn't kneel on the good knee, and so to try to get back up. So, now so it's good. It's good down here and exercising when I exercise. So,
I think it's fabulous. I think you're doing
and for
great work.
everybody out there, my wife is a cougar. She's 81 and I'm 67.
Say it again. She's 81 and you're 67?
Yeah, and she's a cougar.
What a catch. That's
we
so
both caught each
sweet.
other. Yeah.
Oh, how did you guys meet?
Met at church.
Oh, I love it.
And we met at church, and she said, I'm somebody that can paint my steps.
Yeah.
And I raised my hand.
And then you guys got married?
And that started the honeydew list. Oh, no, the honeydew list started before the marriage ceremony, honey.
Oh my God.
And
Super
I'm
cute.
still working on a honey-do list.
I think that's super cute. You love her the same way that you love her when you first met her?
Oh no, I love her more than that.
Oh my God, my heart. This is the sweetest. So great.
No, I love her more than that. Yeah. We talk every day. We play games. We laugh.
Oh,
You know.
Craig, cutest. You've given me hope. This is great.
Yeah. It's all because I'm wearing that bow tie in that picture.
I know you look super cute in this picture, I must say.
And that's at 5 years old.
Oh, so sweet. You look so happy. Your picture almost looks like Mojo's picture did.
Well, the thing is that in the picture, there were very few pictures of me taken as a kid. Because when my brother was born, they have like 10,000 pictures of him. When I showed up, there wasn't any money left because my brother ate all the money. So
Oh,
they only had
no.
like 3 pictures of me.
Well, you got
They
a
have my
good one.
baby picture, they have this picture, and there's a couple other pictures for me from being a little kid. So,
Well, you got a good one here. I like it a lot.
and that's actually, well, I got to say goodbye. Toodles.
Bye, Craig. Thanks for coming up, bud. I really appreciate it. I haven't talked to you in a while. And to hear that you're still going strong and you've offered to be a mentor to me, I'm in. I'm in. Mentor me to keep going to the gym, which you started. I am doing pretty well. I'm going to go today. I will definitely reach out. But thank you, Craig, for coming up and sharing that you love your wife more now than you did the day you met her. It makes my heart sing. It's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm going to bring some up. See what's going on. This show has been really, really powerful. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Cicely?
Yes. Now, this one will be a little bit different. Felicia reminded me of the planetary parade.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody know, I'm an astrologer. I study the data of the stars. And I used to look at my birth chart and I would see what people call the finger of God. If you ever seen the painting where God touches David's finger and all of humanity's knowledge is given, that is what that means in a chart. You have a divine triangle that points to one specific place. And the place that it points to in my life is fame and fortune. And the kill switch of that is that energy that was sent to destroy it. Because if we can keep you separated from yourself, we can keep you from finally attaining what is for you in purpose, like written in my chart, in the stars. And I just refuse to go for it because of that energy and the way it presents itself and how it's a never ending fight. Because every time I defeat one, another one pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I get to a point where I am okay in self, here comes this lovely, toxic energy. Because I won't even call it masculine. We're just going to call it a toxic energy that will force and pry and coerce and manipulate until I am so tired that I have no energy to focus on self. Now, that is the biggest trick that was ever pulled on me. If I can hit you long enough, if I can strike you hard enough, if I can force you to believe that you are lesser than me at every given point in turn, you will never reach your goal. And the crazy part was, I would look at it like, I don't even know what you're trying to hit me for. Why are you hitting me? I have nothing. I wasn't seeing the potential that they saw. And God forbid you live up to any inkling of a potential. It draws out the worst of the worst in Agent Smith. Because you are considered a glitch in the system, a unicorn, an alien, something that looks almost like it's supposed to be there, but it's not. And no matter how hard I tried to hide, like I would hide, I wouldn't speak, I wouldn't do anything, and I was still getting attacked. And it came in the way of, you shall receive my energy. And if you do not receive my energy, something's wrong with you. And I'm like, yes, I know something's wrong with me if I can't receive. But we got to look at how much ego is in this reception. Are you because I hurt your feelings? Because it almost feels like the envisionment of it is somebody will offer me something and I will say, no, thank you. What, am I not good enough for you? Why won't you take my energy? And then it just spirals. And I was like, oh, there's Agent Smith. There it is.
Right.
Why won't you allow me to help you? I am worthy of letting you. You are worthy of my help. I get it. I know I'm worthy of your help. But the ego and the energy that is attached to that help is painful and invasive and coercive. Even if you're trying to manipulate somebody for a positive action, it hurts. It's like having something like a knife forced in your side, but it's even if it's a knife of love, it hurts. Stop cutting on me without my consent. Release me. Unhand me. And mentally take your tools away from my body, mind, and soul before I start screaming. And when I start screaming, there's a whole ancestral line that might wake up, and I don't want to wake them up for no reason. Because in every human, every egg in my body was formed when I was in my mother's womb, and so on and so forth. All of the pain will be heard when I scream. So please keep your hands off me.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You standing your ground. And I think that that's the best part. I think that that's the whole point, is increasing awareness. So when I think about this shift that's happening, I know I've shared with you guys before, and I won't go into the full story now, but I will again later. But I literally was writing about this morning. Cicely, you're too much. About the way I went into a spiritual store, and this woman, I didn't even say a word. I was just looking at crystals. I was bringing a family member to look at some crystals. And this woman came running from the back to me, and I didn't even say anything. Not even a word. And she started telling me that I'm shining too bright, that I need to protect my energy, I need to do all this stuff. But the reason why, one, I'm like, who does that happen to? Me, of course. But the reason why I share that is that in that moment, bring it back to today's topic, I became submissive all of a sudden in that moment. That's what I was writing about this morning. All of a sudden, instead of going, no, I'm fully aware of my energy, I'm fully aware of my power, I went small. Like, really? What do you think I'm doing wrong? What, help me? What am I doing? And questioning and doubting myself. And that to me is extremely powerful, because I could have just said, no, I'm good. Thanks. I'm fully aware. This is the shift, guys. This is when we believe in ourselves. We don't have that doubt anymore. And that was, I believe, a learning that was sent my way for me to discover that. About this is what we're talking about when we're believing in ourselves, and people try and take your light, or they try to make you feel bad about who you are, or the light that you're shining, or how you're shining it, or how you're showing up. This is why when we believe in ourselves, we can just command it. Be like, no, I'm fully aware. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you. I know my tools. I know how to manage this. So this is a part of the journey, and knowing that when we do this on our journey, we start to become more confident in who we are. I actually think it shifts into radical acceptance. But there is a pattern with myself where if I were to get challenged in the past, it could be in business or whatever, I would be strong up to a point, and then I'd be like, really, you think? And then I would doubt. I'd fall into self-doubt. Not doing that anymore. So when we understand the beauty of shifting into your power, it's extremely, extremely powerful. It's important in order for you to get to that next stage. Okay, I have one more guess, and then I'm going to do the mantra and close the show. Today, I lose time, guys, because this show was actually very, very powerful. Hi, how's it going?
Hi, how you doing, Kristina?
Very good. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, this is an awesome, awesome show. I just want to say, for the lady that was on just before me, be still and know that I am God. Also, take the time to just say no. Don't let things into your being that you don't want there. You have the choice, you have the power, but you've just got to exert it, and you've got to be relentless about it. And just believe, once you say no, everything starts to flood into your being, and that you will get the help you need to fight back.
It's very true, because it's also an energetic game, right? If you are open, it's almost like tap on, right? You're just allowing that energy to flow. But when we say no, we close that tap. We start putting boundaries in place. We start cloaking our energy so we're powerful. Then we recirculate it. The no is a very huge part to that, because the universe hears that, right? Yourself hears that. Yeah.
Exactly. You attract what you want in your being. So I would just encourage her. I know she said that one slaps her in the face. And
Oh, I think Paula's going to come back. Cicely, she's giving you she's encouraging you to stay the course, which I think you are. I think you're in that process. This is the beauty of the journey, is that you're in it, right? You're journaling about it. You're sharing out with others so they can understand where you're coming from. And when we understand that, it's actually extremely powerful. But what I do love is that Paula heard you and she's here supporting you on that journey. And who doesn't have these journeys? These journeys are so beautiful. And isn't it funny how we've hidden them? We hide these journeys because we don't think that there's value, or there's been shame, or it's actually quite beautiful and poetic almost, because this is where the growth happens, the insights, the higher learning, the connection to self, understanding, because you're shifting from, quotation, the matrix, or shifting from the rat race, or whatever you want to call it, into this deeper sense of self. You start trusting yourself, believing in who you are. And when we do that, I think it's extremely powerful. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to remove Paula from the stage. Sorry, Paula. I'm going to move you out, sending you much love, but I have to continue with the show. I do on the show all the time when I close out. I just want to say thank you for everyone who has hung back, listened. I think that there's such value in today's show for everyone. If you are catching it in the middle, you may want to go back to the beginning, because there's a lot of richness in today's topic. So the way I like to close out the show is with a mantra. I do this all the time. Normally, I repeat it 3 times. I'm only going to repeat it once, and I would encourage you to repeat it with me. And then I'm going to pour into you. Then I'm going to throw it back at you. And I just want you to take the energy and let it flow in. And so you can feel absolutely amazing. Okay, here we go. Today's mantra. So wherever you are, get ready to repeat it back to me. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am capable of achieving anything. My dreams are mine for a reason. I will rise to meet them. I just heard you guys say that. That's awesome. Okay, get ready, guys. I'm going to pour in. I want you to feel it. Here we go. I'm going to get my energy all up. Here we go. I'm going to pour into you. Here we go. You are powerful. You are worthy. You are capable of achieving anything. Your dreams are yours for a reason. You will rise to meet them. So hold it, hold your head up high, stand in your power today. Do one little thing today. Now go out there and own your greatness. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to show up and bring your magic into play. I love you lots, and I'm sending you much love and light, and I hope you have a fabulous day. I will see you, maybe not on Friday because I'm running the retreat, but I will try to see if I can get on, and if not, maybe on the weekend. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Much love. Bye.